the former head of 247 Sports Basketball, and now, if I do say so myself, the hottest coaching agent in all of college basketball. Evan Daniels, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me, fellas. It's kind of weird being up here. Obviously, my relationships with you all go pretty far back, so it's pretty cool.
You know what? I'm going to get up and give him this seat because he's just used to having being the host here. But, I mean, what has this – you and Travis go back so far, but this transition that you've made is unprecedented. We've seen people in our industry go on, they take other jobs in the media, they go to the NBA. We've never seen someone go to the agent side of it and have so much success so quickly. So, I mean, what has this been like for you?
Well, one, it's been a lot of fun, and, you know, I've obviously go way back with Travis. We used to be intern for me. We worked together. Bossy and I go back almost 20 years, and Adam, you and I spent a lot of time in gyms together.
Yeah.
So it was a really hard move at first. It was one of the more difficult decisions of my life. I think I probably talked to each of you about it before I did it. But it's been really gratifying. It's been a lot of fun. I think at that time in my life I was looking to do something different. I was looking for a new challenge, and I was loving what I was doing. This wasn't something that I ever sought out or searched for. It kind of just happened, and it's really been a great fit for me personally. I'm really enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun, and I've been lucky enough to be able to utilize some of the relationships that I built in the last space, and they've been able to carry over to the new space. So
yeah,
I love the people I'm working with too.
Yeah, Evan, you know, obviously I've known you since you were a teenager. I remember years ago you whipping me around Nashville in your car, and you know, being a little bit nervous.
Literally will whip you around in his car
Texting
too.
too much.
Texting a little bit. Obviously knew that, you know, this guy has something special. You were able to develop a lot of relationships in your role as a recruiting coordinator for 24/7. All the scouting services you ran. How crucial and vital was that in making the transition?
Well, I think it was probably my biggest strength was just relationships with people, and you know, I think the line of work you guys are in is very much a relationship business. It's very much an information business, and I think the new world that I'm in is exactly the same. And I've been lucky enough that a lot of guys have trusted me over the years, and they're now believing me in a different way. And I've had a lot of guys that where those relationships really carried over. So I think a lot of the qualities that make you all really good at what you do now, I think carry over to the agency side. It's about relationships. It's about information. It's about getting people to trust you. So I think those things have kind of made the transition a little more smoother. I tell you, a year in, I don't know that I would have been saying that, but 3 years in, it's been a lot of fun. I feel like I've seen a lot of stuff come to fruition because of that.
We talk to people all the time, friends back home, whatever. A lot of people don't really understand what we do on the road. You were in the gym for years. Do you miss any part of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think you always miss certain aspects of it. I miss doing this. I mean, this was my favorite thing since I was 8 years old. I wanted to do sports television, so I was lucky enough to be able to fulfill that dream and do it in 24/7, do it digitally, and do sidelines at FS1 and stuff like that. Those were childhood dreams of mine. So I'm always going to miss that stuff. You get a high or a dopamine hit from breaking a big story. So like I miss that type of stuff. But it was time for a new challenge and a new walk of life, and I'm enjoying every second of it. And you know, you're always going to miss little things. I miss the people. Like us three spent a lot of time in gyms together, a lot of times in restaurants after gyms together, talking about players. And I think probably the other thing too is like seeing Anthony Edwards when he's a freshman in high school, or a Jason Tatum or Harry Giles when they're a freshman in high school, and then you see them go on to be NBA All-Stars. Those are like cool stories to tell when you're watching games with friends. So I always miss that type of stuff, but I made the right move, and I'm loving it.
I won't ask you specifically about any of your clients, but suffice it to say you and CAA have been red hot this cycle. You know, what has made you guys so successful, and in this current climate in particular?
Well, I think it starts with what we were talking about a minute ago, relationships, information. But we have a great team. You know, I work with guys like Jimmy Sexton and Spencer Breeker and Clint Dowdle, who have amazing relationships. We've got an awesome general counsel. We've got an awesome client service team. You know, we're great because we have a great team. The sum of our parts equal a bigger thing. And I think we've been able to provide that for our clients, and obviously they got to trust in us. And the other thing is we have great clients. We've got talented people that we work with, and but I think our team really sets us apart.
Hey, Evan, you mentioned that high that you used to get in breaking a story. How does the high of landing a guy a head coaching job compare to that?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. I mean, I think the way I describe it is every conversation means a little more now because there's a lot more on the line where, you know, in the news field, you might have, I don't know, 10 or 15 stories you're trying to break a week, where on this side you're trying to get a guy a job between a 3 to 4 week period in the spring. So it's a little different, but there's a build up to that too. You've got to recruit the client, you got to maintenance the client, you got to spend time with them, build real relationships. So there's some similarities, but there's not as many as maybe in the news breaking field.
So I know your commitments at the Final Four are vastly different than a coach, but we all know how busy you are. We didn't think you would actually do this, so we can't thank you enough for doing this. Not going to let Travis ask another question. You just can't have him. You can't have him. You got to leave him here. So thank you so much for doing this. And also, I'd say this: thank you for what you did for the industry, because I think that as I've told you privately, you took this industry and did things that no one else did before while you were in it. And you've now done that again by showing that an unprecedented transition is possible. So I really do think you helped the entire industry and everybody in it.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me, and I'm proud of all you guys. Travis and I we talked about it, man. I've seen him since he was a young kid, and it's pretty cool to sit on the set with you guys and see you guys all killing it. So I'm happy for you all, and I really appreciate y'all bringing me on.
Likewise, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate it, man.